All right, so I'm here with Miss Thornton and this is Mr. Johnson. We're talking about individualized learning plans. Hi, Miss Thornton.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Great.
Alrighty, so let's get these individualized learning plans opened up here. Um, so I guess before we start, Miss Thornton, can you tell us what's the purpose of these plans, anyways?
Okay, so talking about the purpose of ILPs, they're to provide an additional scaffold for our students' new unconventional schedule.
Yep.
So with students spending more time at home, we want to make sure they're maximizing and efficiently using their time. As we know that it's proven that kids need structure, so we are providing or designing ILPs to provide that extra scaffolding for additional support. This will help them manage their time at home more effectively. We structure the ILPs for three areas, which is time management, SMART goals, and the navigation of challenges.
All right. Um, okay. Very cool. So we're inside right now of the individualized learning plan document. Um, it's got three sections here. First, section one is how are you using time? Section two is how are you doing in your classes? And then section three is you working with the kids to set some individual goals. So me and Ms. Thornton are going to role play what a conversation looks like. Thornton's going to be the primary person. I'm going to be a student. And we're going to come back, and after we're done, we'll talk about it, answer some commonly asked questions we think based upon this process, and we'll go from there. All right. All right, Ms. Thornton. Let's
All
start.
right. All right. Hi, Calvin.
Hi, Ms. Thornton.
So I know that last week we talked about doing your individual learning plan, and I told you I would follow up today when the document's ready. So
Yeah.
it's ready.
Okay.
So we're gonna fill this out. So the first thing is put is your name,
All right. Calvin.
and then we're gonna date it, which is the 18th of March.
Okay.
So going over this ILP, I'm gonna shorten it. Instead of saying individual learning plan, I'll just keep saying ILP. So
Okay.
that's what ILP means. All right. So in this ILP, it has three sections. It's talk about time management. It talks about realistic, like how you're doing in your classes. And the last section is going to be setting some goals to close out this conversation. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing we focus on is your time management. So we know you have a lot of time at home. So we're going to go over how you can use your time more effectively or most effectively to make sure you're having your school structured in there while we're working outside the classroom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
So when we start this part, I'm going to ask you when will you, like, there's some things that I'm going to ask you of when you'll be doing this, and then we're going to plug in times. Okay.
Okay.
So when will you check in with your primary person? So that's me. So we check on what days?
So we check in if we can do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those are the only days that are gonna work for me to do check-ins, unfortunately. All right.
Okay. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's 3 times a week. And what time?
If I can check in with you at 10 o'clock on Monday.
That works. So just plug in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10
Yeah.
a.m.
All right. Check-ins. All right. So I'll check in with you on those days.
All right. So
All
we
right.
got that set. The next thing is, you know that we're having classroom through YouTube. So each of your teachers are creating a YouTube channel with all classroom material. So
Mhm.
those are your instructional videos. So when will you watch those videos?
Uh, Let me think. I know that Miss Ferrer and all the teachers released their videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like after 11. So I'm gonna try to watch Miss Ferrera's video, humanities, um, maybe at 12
Okay.
on 12 again on Tuesday, and then 12 on Friday. And then Mr. Hewitt's video, I kind of struggle in math a little bit, so I might need a little more time. So maybe I'll watch it at like 3, so I can have a couple of hours. And then I got Miss D'Souza or Bible Science. Maybe I'll watch. Like I don't think the videos are not that long. I heard like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So maybe I can do both in the same hour. Like maybe I'll watch both of them because like I'm pretty good in environmental science. Like I feel like I know the concepts.
All right.
I'll watch her videos then, and then for my other class, social justice, with Miss Keith,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch Miss Keith's videos at 1 o'clock.
You
But
want to take a little break, or do you think that like you're gonna be watching 3 classes?
oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't do back to back then like that. Maybe I'll just watch Miss Keith before before 10. No, can't do that because she didn't release her videos yet. So
Do
maybe
you have
I'll.
anything on Tuesday or Thursday? Because I see your Tuesday and Thursday. I know we have live sessions, and we'll get to that. But do you have any time on Tuesdays or Thursdays to plug in a video?
Yeah, I could maybe like after school, after like at 4. Like I'm pretty good on Tuesdays, and like I said, I know her stuff pretty good. Oh yeah, okay,
All right, so we have all your classes planned. And again, if this doesn't work for you, you could change it around. So at 12 o'clock, if you're feeling like humanities and environmental science is too much, make sure that we come back and change that to when you're actually doing it, okay?
okay.
All right. So the third part is like, okay, so we talked about you watching the videos and learning the concepts. What about your assignments? So when are you actually going to do the work for the classes?
Oh, all right. Like maybe I'll do them at 11.
Wait, I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
So remember we talked about, I sent the email about live sessions. So we said live sessions are from 9:30 to 11:30. So you maybe want to make Tuesday and Thursday like sacred hours where nothing else can interrupt that time. So
Okay.
before 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock, you just want to automatically block that because that's your live session time.
Okay. Maybe I'll put that down then. All right.
And whether you check in or not, you just want to make sure you have that free if
Yeah.
case a question does come up.
All right. Yeah, that's smart. Thank you, Miss Thornton.
You're welcome.
Um. All right. So maybe I'll do Miss Ferrera's humanities work though. Like I know that like I can do it. I can do some work on honestly like after 4 o'clock on Mondays.
Okay.
I can really do a lot of work for Miss Ferrera and Mr. Hewitt. Maybe not Mr. Hewitt because his work takes me a little longer sometimes.
Okay.
I definitely can do Miss Ferrera's work.
How
Um,
do you do it in humanities?
I mean, like it's I'm not going enough to her. I didn't when we had school. I didn't go to her class enough.
Okay.
But like usually when I'm in there and she works with me, like I get the concepts pretty quickly.
All right.
But
So
there's
what I'm so
a
if you're struggling with Mr. Hewitt's, maybe you want to work on your math after 4,
okay,
just because then when you have live hours the next day, you can check in with Mr. Hewitt.
all right, okay, okay, all right. So I'll work with. You're right, 'cause I have a lot more time too after 4 sometimes.
Mhm.
All right, so I'll go with that, and then I'll work on. I think during this like right here, see if I can do some of Miss Ferrera's work. 'Cause I can knock this knock these 2 classes out like pretty quickly.
Okay.
All right, and so then I got a lot of time um, here, and so I'm gonna do my social justice. I watched the video here, so I'm gonna do my social justice work on Wednesday morning, right before the check-in. If I have any challenges,
Mhm.
um, I'll tell you about it, and then maybe we can switch my schedule up again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So we have it seems like your schedule's pretty much full now. So
Yeah.
look at it and see if you're going to have any challenges. So the only challenge I could see, and you don't have to like list this, is that you said you watched your little brother,
Yep.
and you said that's from 5 to 6. So
Yep.
work after 4. So make sure that maybe you put after 6 p.m. On your math work. So that's after you watch your brother.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. After 6.
All
Because
right.
I can't really watch him and do my assignment at the same time. It's kind of hard.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So do you see any other challenges, or is this fine as is?
Nah, it looks good to me.
Okay.
Ooh,
So that is the end of that part. So let's go to the next section. So the
okay.
next section is the realistic. So this is new. You don't have to lie. You have to be honest with yourself how you're actually doing this class. And you did that. You did that earlier, saying that you really didn't go to a class, but so that's why you're not doing well.
Mm,
So that starts with the math, science, and humanities. We want to know how you're doing towards your mini QPA. That's the second mini QPA.
okay.
So how are you doing in your math towards that?
I'll be honest. Like I'm not doing good. Like it's the concepts. I'm not really understanding at all right now.
All right. So how are you? Is that for all your classes or just that one?
I mean, I would say for that class in science, like I just don't really get the concepts all that well. I mean, definitely math. Like, I really don't get it. Environmental science, I mean, maybe a little less so. I don't go to class enough for environmental science and humanities, so that might be part of the problem. But when I do the work, I seem to get it. But
Your math, you
yeah,
struggle with.
math is my hardest one.
So let's just put that. You're not doing very well. But instead of just putting the problem, let's put a solution of thinking about that. And I know that we're going to set goals later on, but let's just add a solution. So
Okay.
you're going to attend the live sessions. That will be a goal for you, or that
Yep.
can help you.
Yep.
And then make sure to ask questions on the concepts you don't get.
All right.
Now, you may not feel comfortable actually asking right then. So you also can email your teachers too during this time.
Yeah. All right. So I'll do that. I'll go to the live sessions. I'll ask. Like, I'll write out a couple questions. I'm really struggling with it, and then I'll email Mr. Hewitt if I have to too.
Okay, so I imagine if you're not doing well towards the second mini QPA, that your capstone
Yeah.
is probably the same condition.
Yeah, I'm probably on the way to not doing well on my capstone either. So yeah, all right. But if I can, I think if I really just sit with him or go to attend his live sessions, I mean, and shoot him some emails, maybe I'll be in a better shape.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's focus on science and humanities. So what
Okay.
about science?
Like I said, I'm not doing great, but I feel like if I attend class, like myself, if I watch her videos that she's gonna post, I think I'm gonna do fine because I think my problem has been I just don't go to her class enough. So
Okay,
so
so now you have like a fresh start.
watch the videos. Yeah, exactly.
All right, and let's do the same for humanities and social justice.
Okay. Right. If I watch the videos, I'll be good. But for Miss Key's class, like I'm doing well. Like I'm doing pretty well in Miss Key's class actually.
That's good. So let's plug that in.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what grade you have in your class?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I have an A right now.
All right, so let's plug that in too.
Okay.
All right, so now we have the realistic part of how you're doing in your classes. Now let's go on to the goals. So let's end this call and we're going to end this plan with some real strong goals for you while you're out of school. All right.
Got it.
So the first one is, what would you like to accomplish when you're working from home? Remember, we want to make sure these goals are realistic. So your brother is one obstacle right now, but we're going to get back into that.
Okay.
But you want to make sure you're realistic. So if you have a noisy house and you need quiet, you need to like think about how you're going to navigate around that. Or do you have a quiet place in your house? So you just want to make sure that, okay? So
Okay.
what are you going to accomplish? What would you like to accomplish while you're out?
I think one thing I really want to do is I want to, like this week especially, see if I can focus on math and just get in my math grade up. So I can
That's
understand
a
the
good
concepts a
goal.
little better. Okay.
All right, so let's plug that down. So you're going to focus on math and raising your grade in math, right?
Yep.
So what do you need to do in order to meet that goal? So what helps or what support, what do you need? What support?
Yeah, I know we talked about a little earlier going to some of the live sessions. So
Yep.
I'll do that. Um, I think I'm gonna also just definitely make sure that I work on my assignments this week. Like I don't miss any of them. Slash watch all the videos.
Okay.
Um, and I guess like I think if I have running if I'm doing the assignments and I'm like in the zone, maybe I'll shoot Mr. Hewitt an email too.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And then step 3 is, what are some obstacles? So what are some things that may make it difficult for you to obtain your goals? Like what things may, so like we just put down like people play PS4, the temptation of playing video games all day is
Yeah.
there, or no quiet time. So like I said, if you had a noisy house.
I mean, so I babysit my brother like most weekdays from 4 to 6.
Okay.
That's kind of tough. And then like I do play a lot of PlayStation 4. So
So there's your 2 obstacles. So the babysitting or the sibling
yeah,
responsibility,
yeah.
and then you're playing PS4 too much.
Okay.
All right. So the last one is what strategies could oh, I'm sorry, not the last one, but step 4 is like what could you do to overcome those? So if babysitting's becoming a problem, is there any way like you could talk to your parents, or if it's non-negotiable, like how can you manage your time around that?
Uh, like what I could do is like I not really much I can do about the babysitting. Like I have to do it every day.
Okay.
But like what I can do is when I'm done babysitting, like I can really just try to make sure that like once my mom comes home at
Yep.
6, I really can just like leave all their responsibilities aside for an hour or two and just like focus on the work that I have to do.
Or
Right.
if you still have to watch and you want to work on some, maybe giving your sibling a quiet task like reading a book or watching some
Okay.
TV so
Yeah,
that
that's a
you
good
can actually
idea.
focus too.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe not a book because I know how realistic, like
Oh yeah. Maybe
maybe
it.
giving him his favorite show to watch or a project he can work on.
All right.
Maybe he can play the PS4 while you're doing your work and you're
I
not
don't know
playing.
about all that, Miss Thornton. I don't know about all that.
See.
But all right. So yeah. So I'll give him his favorite show. Like I'll let him watch that.
All right. And then the next one is too much PS4. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you, PS4 is second, should be the last, but I know you also are kind of connected to that thing. So how can we disconnect you to make sure your work's getting done?
All right. So maybe when if I follow my schedule, like I'm during the blocks that I'm supposed to be doing stuff for school, like I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not playing PlayStation 4. Like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put the controller down.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Remember, if this doesn't work, you got to revisit it. So maybe it's either unplugging it or or putting the controller up so you don't have that temptation.
All right. All right.
All right, the last thing is, of course, we're talking a lot about academics, but we also want to know how you're feeling as a person. I know we asked when I talk to you, I'm like, how are you feeling? But one thing that we forget about sometimes is self care and like take really truly taking care of yourself. So I don't want to be all in your business, but what are something that you can do to practice self care? So I know you mentioned the PS4, but that may be a little distracting. So what's something else you can do to take care of yourself while you're out?
Um. I don't know. So like I've been like you're right. Like I do play a lot of PlayStation 4 and stuff. That means that I'm inside my house a lot. So maybe like I'll go outside for like 30 minutes, something like that.
Okay, that's good. So then you'll get some fresh air and sun. So
Okay.
put that down, 30 minutes of getting outside.
Okay.
All right. So it looks like we finished every section, 1, 2, and 3. Is there anything that you want to change before I submit this?
Uh.
Well, it's also a live document, so we can go back
No.
and change it. But for the
Okay.
time being, is this good?
Yeah.
All right.
This is
So
good.
I am going to share this. This is going to be shared out to your teachers so they can know what's going on and they can know when they have to check, when you're checking in with
Mhm.
them, when they'll be seeing your face, when you're working on their work. And again, if anything changes, let me know. Text me or anything during if we before our check-in time it changes so I can update for them. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would change actually is just I would just make sure that like it's like I gave. I'm trying to like see like here like I have all of my math work on Monday. Like maybe I'll spread it out a little bit too. So like so that way I can like complete it and watch the videos and go to live sessions. So I'll do a little bit of that too. All
All right.
right.
And think about that too. Is that um just because you put it on there, if you didn't get to it, that's fine. Just
Okay.
make sure you check it, change it on your calendar.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. All right.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, so it seems like we're all set. So we'll be checking in next Monday at 11. It looks like on our schedule. Okay.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, Ms. Thornton.
All right, I'll talk to you then.
All right. Cool. All right. So that's how to run through an individualized learning plan with a student. That's one of the questions I would ask is, are the students the one who are typing answers into the document, or are the primary persons the ones who are doing that?
So I would say for the time being, in a perfect world or ideal world, it would be great for the students to look at the document as you fill it out. And if that's possible, encourage that as much as possible. I know some students have gotten Chromebooks, some have computer access, but in the moment, if you're calling a student and say they're out or they just don't have computer access, you would actually be filling this document out. So
Okay,
going forward, the document needs to be filled out by the primary person.
got it. And how often?
So we want to fill these out weekly. And like I said in my call, if it changes, you're going to update it. But we want to have the call. We want these to be done by Mondays by noon. For this first run, we are going to launch them. And shout out to Victoria, who's already started her ILPs on the document. We want to give you guys Thursday, Friday, and no later than Monday by noon. So you have the next 3 days to get your first um, ILPs filled out with your students. However, going forward after that, the due date for these is going to be on Mondays by noon. That gives teachers the opportunity before their live sessions to actually check out the document if there's any work on they or questions students may have they want to look at. So we want to give you ample time. So Mondays by noon.
All right, all right. Thank you, Ms. Thornton. Anything else that we should cover in this call?
No, I don't think so. If anyone has any questions, feel free to email myself or Calvin. But again, these ILPs are really self-guided. But again, questions do come up, so feel free to email us um, and let us know if you have any questions.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Thornton.
You're welcome.
All right.
Adios.
Adios.